Hello, everyone, and welcome to SpeedGaming 4 as we have a tiebreaker match here in the Open League between Locke and Tenet of Butler Buddies and Tantrum, respectively. I'm Sorcerer Finch, and I'm joined here in the booth by Radical Sniper 99. Justin, how are you doing today, Jesse?
I'm doing amazing. I can't believe it. We have a tiebreaker? I never would have thought we would have had one of these.
Right, especially with the way that the tiebreakers kind of work in Open League. In order to get to this point, not only did the teams have to have the same record, but the same record in division, the same record against the playoff teams, against the third place team, fourth place team, fifth place team, all the way down.
Yeah,
but we're buddies.
There's a ridiculous list of tiebreakers,
and this was the
prevent this.
Right,
yeah.
And this was the easy conference to figure out.
So yeah, we're in this situation. This is a one-game race-off. Winner is in the playoffs as the 12 seed for the Dark World. Loser, you're done. It's over. I'm sorry to say, this is the end of your season. Winner, your reward is getting to play the team Great Name Pending, who is waiting at this point. A very tough team too, so you're not going into the next round thinking, hey, this is a great setup. You're going to be facing off with Breve, Sinhi, and Top Life, so a great reward for the winner of this race.
There we go. And we are off. And starting off with...
We have a straight up just open 7-7. No great tricks tonight. You know, just open 7-7, beat Ganon, first one there, wins. We get the early map check. I saw a 5-6 crystal. We have both 5-6s actually in the Light World Desert and Eastern, and just regular crystal at Hera.
Right, that could be a pretty nice layout for our runners, and that's a nice tree pool as well for that full magic.
Yeah, not a terrible tier 1. I definitely would have tier 1s I prefer, but definitely manageable.
Yeah, we are still on the hunt for a couple items. Got some bombs though to start off with on both sides. Tenet will need a couple more before really going through a lot of Kakariko. And it looks like that was just a bloomerang up on Lumberjack Ledge, so we won't need to beat Aghanim for that item, at least.
And wow, that is really heads-up play from Locke. Using the knowledge of the prize pack, getting that 8 bomb drop, having the ability now to do the front of escape.
Yeah, that's if you're a fan of But We're Buddies, that's what you're looking for. Tenet getting bullied a little bit by the... Oh, but there's the flute. That's a nice find right before Kakariko.
Yeah, Finch and I were talking a little bit before the start of this race, and you know, realistically, these two runners were pretty much the... We threw around the word workhorse to the team, the carries. These were the two runners who really brought both teams to this point. Locke putting in a 7-1 record, while Tenet put in a 6-1 record. So really helping lead to this point for both of their teams.
Right, and Tenet has also been participating in the Kabuki Tational event as well. I believe she is now onto the losers semifinals at this point.
I was gonna say, the tournament's been going on so long, I don't even know what round we're in anymore.
Right. It's been going on for a while. But yeah, this should be an excellent match between these two runners. I'm slightly biased as a member of Temper Tantrum, but I will do my best to be objective. Locke making his way down towards Zelda's cell here, using Postrats, and Tenet with the flute and the pearl.
So nothing major out of that front of escape. Peace of mind? I don't know, is that enough to really matter?
Well, and if our runners do start getting funneled into an Agaseed, then it might be Tenet clears the front of escape, finds out there's nothing else, and then does Aghanim, if that is the way that the seed tells us to go. And as it stands right now, we really don't have a direction one way or another, whether this is Agaseed or not. Although, hey, you know, we can do Eastern. A little out of logic, but we can do it.
No reason not to, I would say.
Yeah, you love to see early bow. And we've got Asuna from SAO over on Lock's side. And then we have Zatch Bell from Zatch Bell over on Tenet's side.
Yeah, some nice starting items here so far for both of our in Kakariko, so
Right. And to be fair, Tenet will just have like a minute or two advantage for having those items. Locke will also be getting that flute and the pearl and bow momentarily. All right.
and I'm realizing I might need to get this MSU because oh my gosh, the chill vibes of Rayman Legends.
It really is it is a good MSU. One of the things that really is underrated about Randomizer, just 10 arrows on library, the sprites, the MSUs, just the experience you can have while playing this game that we all love, or experience.
Yeah, it's an experience.
And the good news is, with an open seed, there won't be too many, relatively not too many shenanigans going on. We could still have a ped seed. We still could have some things that will lead our runners into multiple directions. But Tenet doing the South Shore route here. Oh, and there's a hammer.
Well, there's some weaponry. Nice little start for sure.
Yep. So with that hammer and the bow, Mini Moldorm Cave is going to be much more manageable. Not have to worry about bomb management as much.
Yeah, down to 5 bombs. That would not be fun.
Yeah, it just might get a little stressful. All right, and it's like the archery, the arrow game, except a little less fun. But you do get 5 items.
Yeah, just some slightly mobile targets.
Yeah, this Mini Moldorm really giving Tenet some issues here, though. We'll just opt for some bombs here.
Yeah, I like the swap here, realizing how dangerous the situation is, saying, let's go with the safe strat.
Right. And there's our bottle. This is going to be, and here's where the flute also will shine. You can just avoid all the enemies from here to the next screen over. And
Still
really
dangerous.
Right, still dangerous.
We have seen the crabs on this next screen really not be kind.
Right, and during the Randomizer, now granted it was Randomizer, but Tenet had taken a death up here where the fighter sword had been. So this might be why Tenet is another reason why Tenet is kind of trying to make her way up here. Not nearly for as fun of an item, but hey, it's our 4th heart. And welcome in SpeedGaming 3. Welcome into this tiebreaker race for the Open League playoffs, right before the playoffs.
Something along those lines. I don't know.
Right. All
For
right.
the great prize of being in the playoffs.
Right. Who will be 12th? Who will be 13th? All right. Tenant scouting and seeing is just a piece of heart over on Lake Hylia Island.
Meanwhile, Locke heading towards the dam, gonna get that hammer momentarily.
Yeah, at this point, the main difference between the two runners at this point is Locke has done the front of escape.
Yeah, and realistically, we don't have much of a reason. Like, we know that the back is going to be in logic as soon as we get that fire source. We do see Meyer is our green pendant today.
Yeah, that's good knowledge. Oh, and French vanilla boots right there. So with the bow, Locke may. Okay. Locke does have to be a little cautious here. We'll have enough bombs though, so well done. Both Locke and Tenet though, getting down to 1 heart at this point.
Yeah.
Makes for some good, good stressful running. You know, perfect for audiences. All right, and Tenet is the first into Eastern, and Eastern's 3 items. Locke's gonna go ahead and get 100 rupees here, and that's gonna be Zora money.
Yeah, I'm curious how much that plays into this. Is this a play for Zora? I mean, I understand the sick kid turn in. This is a really quick play.
Right. Meanwhile, Tenet did pick up the hook shot there as the first check of Eastern. So that's going to pay out immediately. All right. And using diagonal throws there. Using that boomerang, just trying to stun the crabs because the crabs only have to do 1 heart of damage. They do 2. But Locke does survive, and a very opportune heart refill right there.
Yeah, and this appears to be a play right back for... I'm gonna say, what is the play here? This is fake flipper territory. Okay.
Right, right. I was thinking, well, why not just dash out and then don't have the boots quite yet. That is item number 3 already in Eastern though. This is a nice Eastern.
They happen apparently once in a while.
Yep. Now this will be kind of complicated here in the dark. So this could be, we'll see how Tenet does here. Oh, and the Igor got away. Good idea. Just go ahead while you're still here. Also, Locke getting silvers.
That's a nice little advantage this early. I mean, especially with coming into Eastern next.
Yep. And switching to the normal bow, just to be able to reduce a little bit of lag there when firing that arrow.
I think the play is more going to be about the potential for a splash deletion.
Okay, does have to be a little cautious though, having a little trouble getting into the portal there.
Like, from what I can tell, I think Locke's getting ready to possibly splash delete and wants the arrow set up for it.
Ah, gotcha. Locke's heading up for water walk here. Meanwhile, Tenet did make it through Eastern. Not a whole lot in Waterfall Ferry. Stalfos I mean, Stalfos are already kind of a little rough, even with a sword. And thank goodness for the hook shot.
Nothing on Zora Ledge, so we're not going to need to worry about any splash deletion stuff this time.
All right, and Tenet's going to go ahead and... this isn't going to be a setup for a quick Armos kill, but it'll still be a pretty good...
Actually, this is a quick Armos kill.
Oh.
Strat. This is the traditionally what you would see a lot in the GT one.
Ah, okay. That makes sense. And 14 minutes in, Tenet is the first on the board, crystal-wise. All right, and let's see where Tenet go. Yep, Tenet will go ahead and check out the Sick Kid here. Just get actually, you know, of all the times to get those 10 arrows, that's not a bad time in the grand scheme of things. And I do like this play here as well. Just you do have the mountain open, and
yeah, really not much else you can do at this point. So,
right, I guess there's desert, ledge to scout, and Aginas. Up and there's that.
Yeah, our first sword there. Just as soon as we can find a mirror.
Yep. All right, and Tenet is going to go ahead and give us Paradox Cave here. Oh, that doesn't feel good.
Yeah, and already the mountain's pretty dangerous. And
oh no! Oh no! Oh no, Tenet! Yeah, in a race situation like this, that just does not feel good.
Yeah, and apologies for the drop in Locke's stream there for a little bit. Some new settings have caused these little breaks in a lot of streams, unfortunately. So we'll try to make sure that, you know, we keep caught up at all times, but we just kind of have to work through it.
Yeah. But meanwhile, Locke into Eastern, and all right, we'll take that blue armor.
And there's Dark World.
Yep, 16 minutes, 42 seconds in. So logically, we still needed to try to find Lamp or Fire Rod before doing Eastern. Now, in the dark distance,
boss, you know, everything else was in logic.
Right.
Really smooth dark room there from Locke. Besides this last little bit. Oh, there's Candace Samaria, also one of our mirror locked items.
Yep, so where is that mirror? And
I mean, on the plus side, you're not tempted to dip TR.
Right. And we know we're going to need that mirror. Now, we don't know yet where the other two pendants are. We know Meyer is a green pendant. Tenet will probably...
The most hilarious idea is that we've got a pendant at Swamp and a pendant at TR and Swamp as the other pendants would be great.
Right, that would be kind of a good item requirement for us. All right, and there's item number 1, and Tenant being very careful around that. We'll go ahead and set up for a Harapot here, though.
It's like we're going with the old Philly pot method.
Works like a champ.
Does. I'll say I'm a bit of a fan of the recent find, but that's still a good method.
All right, and we will see here if we have item number 2, or if we need to get the, or if item 2 is in that big chest. Locke opting to rescue the old man here. Without a sword, it does get a little bit more complicated, but does get through the dark just fine.
Meanwhile, you're confident in your movement there. It's not terrible.
Yeah. Just a piece of heart. And meanwhile, Moldorm does go down on Tenna's side for a map, so item 2's in the big chest. But that is crystal number 2 before 20 minutes are up.
Yeah, I mean, besides the fact that we lack a sword, we're kind of looking at almost a casual boots race here.
Right? And Tenet will go ahead and skip out on that second item for right now.
I mean, I don't disagree all that much with the idea at this point. You got all of Dark World. I think the only thing that could really be terrible there is probably the mirror.
Yeah, at this point, the mirror is going to be the item that could make or break a runner, depending on where it ends up being. And if one of them gets it
no
with
fire
the
source. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, right. Well, that probably does mean it's not as important an item. Possibly. Meanwhile, save and quit. All right, and all right, Tenant's going to go ahead and check out Bunk Rocks here. I'll tell you, it's always a fun one when you have the flute, bow, hookshot, Dark World access, boots, and you still don't have a sword.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of why we're seeing these extra checks before hitting Dark World at this point. Because you're going to, like, the thing is that if Thieves Town is a crystal, you're kind of, like, having to do it.
Right. Oh, hey, there's that mirror. And lamp. Wow, okay.
Unfortunately, Tenet bailing there, so Dark Cross quickly becoming a last location. We know it's an item as we've seen the map over on Locke's side, so...
That is true. We do not yet know what it is yet, though, I believe.
No, Locke did not go after Dark Cross, understandably so.
All right, and there's the hook speed Harapot there. One of the great things, honestly, about that is how many different ways there are to achieve the same result of clipping yourself into a pot. Actually, this... Oh, because, yeah, this will get Tenet sword. Might potentially tempt Tenet to check out item number 2, but that's probably a little bit more debatable.
I have my doubts that we're going to see that happen.
Yeah, but worth coming up here for that sword.
Yeah, because, I mean, at this point, Thieves Town is kind of calling out.
And now we're hoping that Thieves Town is not one the aforementioned pendants.
I mean, even if it is, we could make a decision here between Pod and VOO.
Ah, that's a good point. And with the hook shot, you're not necessarily discounting. Like with Pod, it's just going to be a little bit longer.
So Pendant Thieves, Pendant Ice.
Yeah. And everything else is going to be a crystal. All right. Hype Cave score prediction. What are we thinking?
We'll go with a modest 3. I don't know. Although I don't know what it counts as a 3 anymore.
Fair. I'll say 5.
Like it becomes... That's probably a modest 3 or 4.
Yeah. Going from no sword to 2 sword definitely feels good. A lock is going to go straight to Dark World. Now, this is going to be an advantage for Tenet having 2 swords and Locke missing out on the mirror and lamp.
The mirror is the big one here.
Right.
To be honest. The lamp, not really going to make a difference unless Locke is thinking Pod here. Like, that would be my concern if I had a rooting interest here. Like, if Locke was thinking, oh, I can hit Pod right now, then I'd be a little concerned. But if Locke decides to take this and just head to VOO, or still do over to Dig Game, then it's not a huge deal.
Right. And to be fair, Locke does now have a sword. So Hype Cave is probably going to be more of a 5 or 6 for Locke's side as opposed to Tenet's. Especially, Locke does know that sword exists, so if worst comes to absolute worst, like on the way up to TR, if we are still in a pretty dire sword situation, the guard's kind of chasing Locke there a little bit. But both of our runners either into Pod or already in Pod.
Yeah, and this is where that mirror or that lamp and mirror are really going to pay off.
Right. So I think one of the main differences so far between the two, and they've both been rushing dungeons pretty well between the two, and it's paid off so far. But yeah, we are going to see slightly different routing between the two here. All right, and please correct me if I'm wrong. Does that mean that the center? Does that mean that the big key chest is a key?
Have we seen Stalfos Basement?
We have. It was a key.
Yeah, it has to be a small key. We had 2 items. The heart and the compass means that everything else is small.
All right. As much fun as pod key logic is. All right, and we're going to be seeing Harmless Hellway as well. And we'll take Tempered Sword. Thank you very much. All right, Tenant dodging around, trying to make sure to keep those sword beams. All right, and actually here is a point where this isn't a tough room to do in the dark here on Locke's side, but it is a little bit more of a challenge. Oh, okay, so so Powder was in that last pod basement item there that we unfortunately did not see. So Tenant and Locke both with Powder, that will be kind of nice. All right, and all right, Tenant zooming into the back. Locke is going through the pod maze. It is pretty consistent directions to go throughout the maze, which is going to be very helpful. Locke does make it to the key. Locke may end up doing it. Might have been setting up for a death warp here, though.
Hard part is, of course, the Kadongo down at the south side is dead now, so definitely does not have the bombs to do the death warp either now. So gonna try to work in reverse direction, but really favorable firing there.
Right, that was what Locke needed right there, and that was the best way to get back to the front. Tenant, meanwhile, is going to go ahead and get to King Helmasaur. All right, gets stung once, but 4 sword slashes, and down goes King Helmasaur. You know, we're going to count that as a little bit of a time save over on Tenant's side, which that is crystal number 3. We are 31 minutes in. And Locke's not too far behind here either. Locke is probably going to get there around 33, 34 minutes.
Yeah. And the Silvers really is going to even out that fight either way between the Tempered and the Master Sword here. We'll see how Locke does with the Dark Room. This is always a fun one.
Right, especially with no fire source. Locke doing a great job, though. It's especially just staying alive. Keeping those sword beams as long as possible. It might take a little bit longer using sword beams, but attacking at range, does lose sword beams, though. All right, and Tenant into Skull is going to check out at least the front of Skullwoods first. Try to see if we can scrounge up the 2 items quickly. All right, and Locke did make it through the mini Helma room there. Does get a little bit softened up, though, by the mini Helmas, but
With Blue Mail, only a heart of damage from each of these taps from Helma, so not too bad, not too dangerous. Really using that hammer extension as much as possible.
Right, really well done, and 1 silver arrow. We did get item 1, by the way, on Tenet's side. We're going to go ahead and mirror check out if it's there. And that is crystal number 3 over on Luck's side.
And really, at this point for Locke, even getting the mirror, I don't see us heading towards that sword up on Spec Rock for a bit.
Right. It is pretty well positioned, though. You can pick it up. At this point, like, you can pick it up whenever you'd like. Especially, like, right before... You might get it before Turtle Rock, for example. That might be an opportune time. You probably would want tempered, at least tempered before getting up to Gannis Tower. And that is everything we can do in here. There is 1 item still in the back.
Not too surprising. We'll be back anyway when we have Fire Rod, so...
Right. And Locke is going to go ahead and give us Pyramid Ledge here. I don't believe we saw this on Tenet's side.
No, I am surprised a little bit about the run out, but...
oh, and there's our 4th sword.
Who needs that sword?
Right. Kind of thinking, I don't have that cape quite yet, so we'll be fine. Locke is going to go ahead and check out the catfish side, though, first. This kind of makes sense. Locke doesn't have the mirror, so be able to do this, just clean up every last check over on this side. All right, that 10 pack would have been nice a little earlier in the game than Graveyard Ledge, but let's see what Catfish has.
Yeah, that's going to do it for Locke on that route. I think this is going to be the back of Escape now.
Right, so...
we'll see if that means we get to finally see this Dark Cross item.
That's true. At this point, Locke would have that item, would have the key, so this really could be that.
Yep, and Locke remembers, hey, I already have a map, so...
All right. Meanwhile, Tenet is the first to enter the Village of Outcasts. Oh, okay. There's Quick Medallion. We do not yet know what medallions we need. We will need the Titansmiths before we can have that knowledge. All right, and just a red rupee in Dark Cross. Oh, and there's Bombos. So we got at least 2 medallions so far. I was half expecting that to be Ether Medallion right there.
Village of Medallions, why not?
I mean, you know, while we're here, Tenet thinking about it, will opt to check Magic Bat first. Okay, yeah, especially without having Titan's Mitts. This still gives that opportunity to do at least the first 4 of these town. You'll see some runners do the first 4 and decide, like, depending on how many items are back there, are in those first ones.
I already see the rumblings from chat about the chances of a pet seed. And while always a small possibility, there is, of course, the chances. It looks like it would have to either be Ether for TR or the Fire Rod or Ice Rod at this point. That's really all it can be.
Right. Yeah, can't be flippers. We already know Kane of Samaria up on Floating Island. All right, and both of our runners into Thieves Town.
Yeah, and both very nicely equipped for this play, so no real worries.
Right.
You got a sword, you got blue mail, nothing to really concern.
Right, and are all of our items in the back?
We're looking like it.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a cane. It's the wrong it's the wrong color thing, wrong blue thing.
Wrong blue thing or wrong red or wrong cane shaped thing. If it was the other cane shaped thing, I'd be a little concerned that the seed's broken.
Right. Now we do have some divergence here. Oh, this is probably going to be a lot checking out Skull Woods. No?
King and Graveyard.
Oh, yep. Meanwhile, Tenet is going to go ahead to the back of Thieves Town and gets that pixel right there. Fantastic dash up there. To answer our question, chat, yes. So this is a tiebreaker for Open League. This is the only tiebreaker that we've got this year by virtue of But We're Buddies and Temper Tantrum not only finishing 8 of 6, but 8 and 6, but also tying in the record against the playoff teams, against the teams from their division, tying against the 3rd place team, 4th place team, 5th place team, all the way down. So we have a 1-race open seed to determine who will make the playoffs, who will face off against Great and Impending. Will it be But We're Buddies or Temper Tantrum? And both teams also, both teams sending a very good racer as well. Locke, I believe we were saying, went 7-1.
Yes.
Yeah, and Tenet went 6-1. So far, Thief Town not coming out with anything else, but we do have items the rest of the way. So, well, there's Tenet's not going to pick up that 4th sword, but it's possible now. All right, and here we go. We get in the blind fight here. Pyramids, I never saw the point. And this is one of the nice things about getting that Burna.
And really, a blank Thieves?
Yeah, it was just Burna and Cape for the only 2 items that we would want to mention. That does technically unlock Spike Cave, though, which of course our runners definitely want to have access to. Yes, Zora was checked. It wasn't anything. Pretty sure it wasn't anything. All right, and Dig Game on Tenet's side. Where is that item? Where is that? Oh. That I don't want to count that high, but that was a lot of digs just for 20 bucks. Oh, but there's Titan's Mitts.
Good, so we don't have to go back for Hera or Spike Cave yet.
Yep. All right, and Tenet, that does open up a lot of the world now. Unlock side. So yeah, that does unlock Kana Samaria. Now with those mitts, we got the mirror. So at this point, we are looking for flippers. Tenet's going to go ahead and do Smith Chain and probably head towards the desert area. Desert is now available. And just in case Meyer is openable, we probably won't see it yet, but it would be the 2 items plus 1 for Green Pendant. Just 50 bucks on hammer pegs. All right, I guess the bug net. Meanwhile, Locke coming back just in time to get those Titan's mitts.
We'll see if Locke plays into some of these checks or decides to rush for Desert Palace, maybe?
This will be... Yes, this will be that.
And honestly, I think I'm a bit more of a fan of Locke's play on this one. Saying, I just need to hit my dungeons and get my crystals and get this going.
Right. Now, we did not... So we weren't able to quite see what was required from Meyer. We hope we don't need to go into Meyer at this point, though. But we could get in. That's Quake.
I'm not going in without that Samaria that I know where it is.
Right. Yeah, desert's one thing. We have to do desert. And that was a shovel in Checkerboard Cave. Yeah, Locke leaving and then thinking, wait, hold on. No, that was something. Oh, and there's Fire Rod. I'd missed that. Shovel on Checkerboard Cave, and oh, by the way, there's our Fire Rod. We are in Ice Rod, Flippers, and potentially Ether from I guess technically no mode. We do know where the Cane of Samaria is. All right, and it's just been a... That's right, that makes sense. It was a key. There's the vanilla big key. All right, and both racers gonna go ahead and check out what is in the big chest here. It's we do know that there was going to be an item there and in against Landmo, so really no harm in going ahead and doing it. But this is a close race between these two.
Yeah, I mean, the time that Locke spent doing some of the other checks up to this point, skipping Smith Chain, not a problem here.
Right, and really kind of the only weapon advantage, Tenet does have a sword advantage. Locke has silvers. Silvers could save a little bit of time against Ganon. And if we have to do Ice Harmless Knights.
Well, and we could see a time gain here on Landmo, but still possible to go for that one cycle with that Fire Rod, so...
Right. Ah, so close. But does get the 2 cycle there. And just total of $40. All right, and we are going to
get those first 2 down. Unfortunately, missing that silver arrow on the 3rd, and that last one isn't.
Ooh. Oh wow! Just sneaking in with the 2 cycle there. All right, and Tenet is going to go ahead and pick up that shovel, likely. But that is crystal number 4 for both of our racers right here. Let's see where Locke goes from here. This might be...
Pyramid Fairy.
Oh, yep, good point. Oh, but Tenet checking Agina's cave, which has been available this entire time.
I mean, at this point, I feel like you kind of rush the mountain.
Yep, 300 rupees. Taking that intentional damage to be able to dash with the bomb. And Tenet's going to just go ahead and say, you know, I just picked up that fire rod. There's at least one item in the back of Skullwoods. Let's just go ahead and, you know, you hear about always be clearing dungeons. And like to welcome in SpeedGaming 2 with a raid. And Pyramid Fairy not paying out. We'll go ahead and pick up a fairy from the Pyramid Fairy. But so far, the clearing dungeons has been that advantage. Like, Tenet's, I think, been willing to rush dungeons once the items are available, which has paid out so far. Locke is going to go ahead and be the first to Dark Death Mountain, though. We're just
probably looking at the sword here on Spec Rock and saying, you know, it's finally time I go for this. And figuring probably I'm going to get flippers and TR, so I'm going to need to make at least one more trip up Death Mountain at this point. Hopefully not 2.
Now, if this is, on Tennis side, if this is flippers...
I mean, if this is flippers or Ice Rod, it's a huge advantage. If both of those items are up here or, you know, some other way of getting about doing them, or like the mountain's required for them, then like it's not a big deal either direction. Like I wouldn't say Locke gains an advantage finding go mode up here, because I think this is where Tenet heads next. But Tenet finding Ice Rod or flippers here is, I would say, sizable.
And Mothula, where the boss is really, it's the floor. The floor is the boss. Okay, and all right, everything's fine. And they're the flippers! Oh my goodness!
Well, and we also found out that Ether is required for Turtle Rocks, so there's a bit of knowledge for Locke that could matter as well.
Right, that's but that does now open up Swamp now for Tenet. Tenet's gonna go ahead and keep on following the item chain here. But let's see because there are 4 items plus the Cane of Samaria up here. And Locke will absolutely get that Cane of Samaria. We do get the Mirror Shield. And that...
Now, the one thing I'll point out that could be dangerous here is if Tenet gets Ice Rod early. Tenet could get Ice Rod here in Swamp Palace and say, I am going directly for being in go mode, thinking I've got 2 medallions, that's enough for go. Locke has the knowledge, which is usually not a big deal. Like, I don't know how much you put into the knowledge factor here, but that could matter.
It really could. It's knowing Locke now knows exactly what's required for go mode.
Yep. And as I said, like, I don't know Tenet well enough to say what is done here. But if Tenet finds Ice Rod, do we see a go mode play? Thinking that you know where Samaria is and that's enough.
Yeah,
so if you're a fan of Temper Tantrum, you want to see Ether first. Plain and simple. If you're a fan of But We're Buddies, you're almost hoping for a little bit more chaos here with the Ice Rod first.
Yeah, but just a piece of heart over in Spike Cave. So let's see what Tenet finds here. We've got... Yeah, at this point, Ice Palace is fully available. Mire is accessible. And it does look like Locke is heading back towards Skullwood, so Locke will go ahead and pick up those flippers. But you are right, like Locke does have the information advantage here. It's just will that knowledge come to bear? And Pedestal's still a possibility here.
Well, one of the other things that could happen is, you know, Locke having done the mountain, like, there's a chance Tenet goes up the mountain after this anyway and ends up having to leave. And then, for all we know, Ice Palace is required.
Right. Also, by the way, that was Sankheart right there.
Yeah, not a bad time for it ever.
Yeah, I mean, it just healed an extra single heart, but hey, we'll take it. Yeah.
To the comment in chat about, you know, Ice Palace versus Mire, I don't know how people value the 2 dungeons always. I'll tell you that from my personal standpoint, Ice is always better than Mire. Ice is a quicker dungeon in my opinion, especially if you've got Samaria. 2 items in Mire and technically a 3rd on Green Pendant can get slow depending on big key location.
Oh, that's a fun mushroom spot there, though. But it's a quick one. Having that flute really does help with the mushroom turn-in. All right, and that is crystal number 5 for Locke, as Tenet heads to Argus and crystal number 6.
Okay, honestly, this MSU just makes me want to replay Rayman Legends boss fights.
All right, and down goes Argus, and let's see. Okay. I don't think there's... I'm trying to think of how many items will actually be on left side swamp with that. Tenet is going to go ahead and leave left side swamp, but I think it's either one or... I think it's either 0 or 1 item.
We definitely got the big key, so there's at least 1 item.
Yeah. But Tenet is going to go ahead and climb the mountain. Let's go ahead and see. I do like this play from Tenet at this point. Let's see if we're in go mode. If not, we still have Dark Death Mountain to be able to clear. Unfortunately, we know it's empty, but... And this is where Locke will have a little bit of time to catch up here. Locke has not yet done Thieves Town in case Ped starts coming into play.
The only thing I'll say there is Thieves is looking a little less fun, given you're talking the back of Thieves now.
That's true.
So you're a long way from an item at this point. I think if I'm Locke, I'm looking at Ice or Mire, and I would think I would say the same for Tenet. Tenet has some options maybe to do Pyramid Fairy and Hobo, but I don't see a way around one of the 2 other pendants.
Either way, this is where if Locke does left side swamp or goes to check, like this could be a difference. This could be the difference in the race.
Yeah, if either of our go mode items are here,
right? And to be fair, Locke
especially.
Right, and to be fair, Locke could make the same decision as Tenet makes. I don't know Locke as well as a runner, but that is a possibility as well. Whoops. And Locke will be doing left side swamp. Right. If it is something that's going to be very good for But We're Buddies. If it's not something, it is like a minute or 2 given to Temper Tantrum. And that's right. There's still here a big chest. Or a big, big chest.
Doesn't exist. Don't know what you're talking about.
All right, Tenet is going to go ahead right back and going to go ahead and do Spike Cave. But here we have a moment of potential truth. What was on left side swamp? All right, innocuous 20 rupees. And a compass. So
we think there is still an item in the big chest then, I believe, because I think we've seen the map.
Yes, we've seen the map, we've seen the compass. There is an item in the big chest. The key is in the back though. Oh, okay, so Tenet's going to go ahead and check dig spot. I don't believe... Did we see this from Locke?
I don't think so.
All right, and Locke is going to go ahead and try to do the clip up. Does get sent right back down the stairs.
Don't you just love the vacuum stairs?
Yep, you know, it's just, you know, getting a little bit of fitness in, you know, go up the stairs, go back down the stairs. All right, what was big chest? Only 300 rupees. So, Less Size Swamp did not pay out for Locke.
And it looks like Tenet's heading for Big Bomb, so no real gain or loss here. It looks like both of our runners going to be about at the same place right after these plays. The only real difference is a front of escape for Locke and a back of thieves for Tenet.
Right. It's... Oh, yeah, just pick up the bomb. Oh, I lost the bomb.
Realizing it and saying, okay, we're going to turn this into front of escape, it looks like. I think, yep.
Yep, okay. When something goes wrong, you know, it's a... I do like this pivot, and having the mirror and boots will give us slight time advantage. Oh, I forgot. Tenet didn't even check Uncle yet. All right, but with that, that is crystal number 6 over on Locke's side. They are both flying through this seed. But now we are kind of on a hunt for Ether. And where's the Ice Rod?
Yeah, really rough situation to be in.
All right, let's see where Locke goes. This might be Ice Palace here, or Mushroom Turn-In. All right, just 50 rupees there.
And here's the Ice Palace play.
Yeah, so right now advantage is with Locke. Especially since Tenet will still need to check. Now, it'll be pretty quick to check it, but Tenet will have to check Dark Cross as well. All right, and Locke setting up for an icebreaker here. Meanwhile, Tenet is on her way to Dark Cross.
Yeah, still surprised we did not see this play during the back of escape play, but not a huge deal.
Right, and it's still pretty quick if you haven't done the front yet. Then it's not too bad to get over to this side. And there's the Ice Rod.
Okay, so that's a huge find. For Locke, this is the order you want to find the items.
Right. Oh, and there's Go Mode. 107.19. And Tenet needs to get to Ice Palace.
And it's not just the fact that this is Go Mode for Locke. Like, there's also the fact that Locke has silvers, which I know is so small. Like, we're realistically, silvers are maybe 20 to 30 seconds. So not a huge deal, but you still can't discount it.
Right, and Locke getting dead rocked there, which, especially in Go Mode, does not feel good. But Locke does have the advantage right now. And with that potion, that does... I think Tenet is thinking about doing Ice Palace right afterwards, but Tenet does need to get to Ice Palace ASAP.
Yeah, what'd you say for the go mode time for Locke?
107 something.
So I think we're already at about a minute and a half.
Right. And Tenet hasn't done the Zora area, so these are checks that Locke did already make. So yeah, at this point,
we're nearing already about 2 minutes difference. So
yeah, now I would guess Tenet would check under the bridge first before Ice Palace. Uh, 106.19. Okay. So yeah, we are at a... Oh no, and Tenet is going to go into Mire instead of Ice.
reasonable gamble, reasonable choice here. You know, you're 1 away, or you're 2 away from go, and it's a 3-item Mire versus a 3-item Ice. You know, maybe feeling a little bit behind, realizing you're against a strong runner and saying, you know, let me make the gamble here.
Yep, it is it's absolutely reasonable, and it's a coin flip. You know, 3 items versus 3 items. Yeah, at this point we're hoping that the book is not here. But yeah, if you are but yeah, this is time that Locke is in go mode for Phantom of Temper Tantrum. Really hoping that the 2 items are at least quick. That might be enough to tempt Tenet to try Ice instead. And yep, we had the Go Mode Ice Rod and Ether Medallion both in Ice Palace. And that's been the difference. That's been the main difference between the 2 runners here. All right, and Luck zooming to the back. Tenet, let's go ahead and see what we get here. All right, so the big key is in cutscene chest. Tenet is going to go ahead and full clear out Mire. All right, and Luck on Laser Bridge on the hunt for just a small key here. Oh, and there's the book. Of course. I guess the good news is that means it's not in Mire. And yep, there is the big key If the compass just is that it's compass that's above cutscene.
I'm not a pilot for spoiler stuff, and I don't know.
Okay. That room with the spikes in this and that one little Stalfos. If that's a small key, then it's guaranteed the big keys in cutscene. All right. All right. Meanwhile, Ten is going to go ahead and finish up Meyer here. Locke saying, Locke and Trinex saying this town ain't big enough for the two of us.
I like the standoff. Unfortunately, it means we don't get to see the fight.
Right.
Okay, so what we do know is Locke probably is killing Trinex right now and is about to head into GT. There are 22 locations in GT. One of them has the GT big key. While we're not seeing Locke pick up that crystal, I'm sure he's got it. So guess a number between 1 and 22 of where the big key is.
Yeah, and I'm going to guess 10. What do you think, Jesse?
I'll go with number 7 tonight.
All right, lucky number 7. Okay, and we're back. Locke did make it to make it through the Trinex fight, and we are back just in time for GT. All right, how about that timing? And 1, item 2, we are forced to the left side. Three for a small key, and RIP Bob, the anti-fairy, who doesn't quite look like an anti-fairy. All right, checks 4 through 7. We get a handful of keys there. Tenet going ahead and using that cape to good effect. Go ahead and just take out the mini eyeballs. And we got check number 8 on Locke's side. Just a couple more rupees. All right, and Vitreous does go down. And that is the green pendant of courage over on Tenet's side. Number 9, 100 rupees. Let's see. Does Tenet go to Ice Palace? It is going to be the green pendant turn-in.
Yep, makes sense. You already devoted the time to beating Vitreous. You might as well go turn this in.
Right. This would be your path to victory. 10 is a small key. And 13, lucky number 13 is our winner tonight.
Apparently, I just guessed the wrong lucky number.
Congratulations to Morguy84, who was the first to say 13. Also, congratulations to Furious Prince 97 and You Cheeseburger on also guessing 13 a little bit later. You know what? You all win a lifetime supply of randomizer seeds. And yeah, this is going to be Tenet going ahead and checking out under the bridge before doing Ice Palace. This makes sense. It's a one item check that could lead to something. It'll lead to silvers, but it's going to be a bit late to make a significant difference in this race, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, we're getting a great show from our racers as well. Please be sure to give the racers a follow, Lock Collective and Tenant HK.
Gotta say, I know we listened to Tenet's MSU of the Rayman Legends for a while, but this East one is really quite hype.
Right?
Especially on this climb.
Right, like, here is definitely where the different, the creative ways that folks do to enhance the game, like whether the MSU, the sprites, it takes a community, and it is such a great community here. That was a fantastic Lamo fight. And Ether and Ice Rod, we will be seeing it in a second over on Tenet's side. All right, very nice icebreaker on that side. Meanwhile, Luck climbing confidently through Ganon's tower here. And we had a question in chat where the Ice Rod and Ether Medallion were. Well, this chest right here is where the Ice Rod is at the 120 mark. And there's the Ether Medallion. That is go mode for Tenet at the 120.13 mark. Yeah, that is about a 14-minute difference between the two. All right, and welcome to the Aghanim fight, where we practice some agonometry here. Nice double to start off with.
Nice getting one hit there. Unfortunately, a really rough position to go for really extra hits.
But that is number 6, and Aghanim down. It's revealed that Ganon was behind everything. I apologize for the spoilers in a 31-year-old game? 30-year-old game? Tenet entering Turtle Rock as Locke is about to enter the Ganon fight. Right, and slashing away. Locke does have a fairy. Yeah, having that fairy, having knowledge of that fairy, of that safety is definitely really nice to have.
Yeah.
Using Canaberna there to get around. That's a little bit of lag, but hey, it's all right. Especially when at that point the name of the game is survive and get to the next phase. All right, and Silver the one true weakness. It's not the worst thing in the world, though, to miss Torch Glitch here, because now you set yourself up for double or triple. And there's the triple. And get your GGs in chat as Locke raises that sword triumphantly and is about to cross the finish line.
And there we go. Locke finishing first overall with a 123.35. The big piece of this is that is going to seal this for But We're Buddies. They are moving into the playoffs and a first round matchup with the team Great Name Pending. Tenet is continuing on through the end of this race, it looks like. Or is going to continue at least for now.
Yep. What an excellent race, though, between the two racers. And it came down to which pendant dungeon do you do? This was definitely a fantastic race between the two. And we are joined by Locke. GG.
Thank you. I always forget to I can move up myself.
No worries. So yeah, what'd you think of this one?
I mean, I'm a little upset that I cleared pod, then found my mirror and my lamp together. That was fun.
Yeah, that was an interesting, really smart start though with the grinding out of that bomb pack.
Yeah, when I saw the second garden Uncle Passageway drop a fairy, I knew it was going to be 8 bombs eventually. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to grab some bombs and do the Fire of Escape now. Just get it over with.
I'm gonna ask, what's the teams feel on moving into playoffs now? Is the plan to still be in playoffs, or are they like, oh, you had to do this to us?
I want to say for sure, like, they don't want to be here, but I'm going to force them there. That's the carry for our team. I'm forcing them there.
By gosh, you're gonna go to the playoffs and you're gonna like it.
Pretty much. I've got our plan set up for who wins what, who does what. I got this. We're gonna be the actual wild card in this.
Well, and you've got a great matchup for the first round now against Great Name Pending, Breve, Sinhi, and Top Life. So,
oh hell yeah!
Yep.
Oh, that's gonna be great for them. Who's doing the cross keys match? Who am I against?
Sinhi.
Ooh, okay. I don't know my record against them. Hold up, let me go check that ladder real quick.
I think, and season 15 for that just ended, didn't it?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I've seen Sinhi doing the practice on the cross keys recently as well, keeping up with it. So, should be a great matchup.
Yeah, and Locke, I guess I'll forgive you this time. GG's.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm like 0-9 against Sydney, so it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. I've been practicing cross keys, not really, but I am a cross keys main. Like I legit do cross keys way too much. So.
All right, and meanwhile, Tenet finishing up the Try and X fight here. Yeah, the ads kind of made things a little interesting.
I forgot about this. I'm so sorry.
No, there's not much that can be done anymore, unfortunately, with it. So
well, those are scheduled ads. So what I could have done is I could have turned them off, of course, because I remember seeing a restream by Willard the other day, where he was on the restream and saw the same thing happen to him and was like, oh, I should probably turn those off today. Then completely forgot about it until I popped up the restream. I'm like, I'm frozen at Trinex. That's weird. Oh, ads.
I mean, it did give us one of the greatest stare downs, so, you're forgiven.
The fight did go kind of well. It went, I backdoored the left head, 4 hits, shot again, hit it one more time, went to the right head. It almost shot out, didn't. It was a 1 cycle, got the double spin slash, so that's what you missed.
Yeah, it was it was kind of fun. Like it's the stare down, and then we got like the 10 frames right before you enter GT.
Yeah, that's perfect. You don't need to hear much else from there. That's just running over to GT.
Right. You know, what else could you ask for, really?
Yeah. At least you get to see all of the gauntlet, all of GT, where the big key was.
Exactly.
And we actually do have a question from our tracker. Did finding those silvers give you any confidence at the time you found them?
No, not really. They're nice. They are nice for sure. But by the time I was gonna need to actually use them for, I guess, anything else but Vidi, I wouldn't worry too much about them because I mean, like, Armos is Armos. There's not much to say about that. And Helma usually got a sword, usually got a hammer. Like they make it faster for sure, but they're not like super like, oh man, silver's gonna save so much time here, you know. Vidi would be about the only thing I would want them for, and then green pendant Vidi, you know. So
yeah, that's a good point.
I'm just really glad I basically chose correctly when it came to the pendant dungeons, because I did have, what, 3 items in each, I think, at the time when I was choosing?
Right. It was either the 3 items in Ice or the 2+ green pendant turn in Mire. And that was one of the main differences. You did hit go mode. You did enter Ice a little bit before Tenet. Tenet ended up... didn't do the front of escape until pretty late. So did some of those kinds of checks first, and then went into Mire, full cleared Mire, got the turn in, checked under the bridge, and then went into Ice.
Gotcha, yeah, because I felt like when I was choosing between the 3, I think out of the 3, Mire would probably take the longest to full clear. Ice is pretty quick. And I mean, I'm looking for cold stuff. Go to the cold place, right?
Of course.
It just makes
weapons.
sense. Yeah, exactly. Go to cold place. They tell you how to cold things. I was surprised to find them back to back, though. I wasn't expecting that one.
Right. There were a couple very, very interesting kind of places there. Tenet was the first to find the flippers. We were discussing that because that was right at the very top when you were going into Dark Death Mountain. Tenet finds the flippers, and it looks like that's a bit of an advantage there. There were a lot of momentum swifts kind of back and forth between you two.
Okay, I'm gonna have to watch back the race and see what happens. Seems like a lot of races go like that, where there's, you know, momentum shifts on both sides, you know. It goes back and forth until someone starts slowly pulling more ahead.
Right. And meanwhile, Tenet about to pick up that big key.
Where'd I get a blue potion from?
Blue potion was that in Super Bunny?
Maybe. I remember the red potion. I don't remember the blue potion, man. I don't remember that at all.
Or was that the back of Swamp Palace?
No, I mean, Locke did all that. Possibly Thieves?
No, I didn't do back of thieves.
Yeah, so... Oh, the extra blue. Oh.
Yeah. Unless it was
I'm not sure of.
Laser Bridge?
I think we saw all of Laser Bridge from Tenet.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, remember then. I can only remember 3 bottle contents. I can't remember 4. I knew I had the fairy, the red, and the V. That's all I remembered.
That fairy definitely. I mean, it's better to use it than not have it when you need it.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. Meanwhile, Tenet going through the gauntlet here.
And it looks like Tenet is going to finish this one out, so...
I do like this, and especially it's the it's the last. It will be the last league race for Temper Tantrum. It will with this, but We're Buddies does advance to the playoffs against Great Name Pending, and Temper Tantrum. You'll see us next year. Let's see. Kind of anything else? Kind of thinking about the seed lock.
I am really glad I never had to go back to Hera for that last item.
Oh, geez, right.
I was thinking about that for a while, and I was tempted to do it while I was up on the mountain before Spike Cave, but then just decided against it.
Yeah, I'm trying to... I guess it really couldn't have been anything trackable. With the book on Laser Bridge, the cape was in Thieves Town.
Oh, okay. That's where that was.
Yeah, I guess it was kind of interesting going from like open Randomizer week, where it's like, okay, we've got the cape, we're in good shape now.
So this is open where I don't need anything.
Right, it's like just go ahead and just take care of everything. All right, Moldorm, being a little rude there to Zatch Bell. Being very rude to Zatch Bell, but down goes Moldorm. Yeah, I guess we never found we never found red armor.
That could be about the only thing I think that could be left in there that'd be trackable.
Yeah, because you had that blue meringue on Lumberjack Ledge, which hey, at least no one was really tempted to do Aghanim.
No, not at all. I think once I found that hammer, I knew I was going to find a glove somewhere. It was just a matter of where.
Does it feel like it feels like Glove has been in Paradox Cave more often than not, and it's completely anecdotal, but. All right, and that is Aghanim down on Tenet's side. All right, and we're just letting the rest of this race here play out as Tenet will go ahead and continue and try to defeat Ganon, because, you know, at the end of the day, it's Ganon going down that matters.
I'm going to go ahead and hop out of here. So thanks again for the restream and the commentary and all that. Appreciate it. I'll have to definitely give this a watch back. And
yeah,
thanks
no
everyone for watching. Yeah.
Thanks for hanging out for a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And GG again.
Thank you again. See you all later.
All right. And yeah, as a reminder, please make sure to follow our runners, Locke and Tenet, as well as the crew. We've got Radical Sniper 99 or Jesse, myself, Sorcerer Finch, and we also have Furious Prince 97 pressing the buttons, keeping us honest, making sure that we're saying the right things.
Wait, that's what makes us honest? Oh gosh. Crasher.
All right, and there's the torch glitch over on Tenet's side. The only thing is it does give for a little bit slower of a Ganon fight here, but it is a little bit more consistent. And that is Ganon down. Get your GGs in chat as Tenet is about to raise that sword and cross the finish line.
And there we go. Tenet finishing with a 138.40. GG.
All right. And yeah, that does conclude the race. GG's to both Locke and Tenet. We'll see if we can get Tenet in here. But yeah, I think we definitely saw a race definitely worthy of this play-in match.
Agreed. A lot of great plays, and you know this is how rando kind of turns out sometimes. You make a decent call, and it's just the wrong one, and that's kind of what happened tonight.
All right, good old Salmonella's homecoming right there. All right, and we are joined here in the booth with Tenet HK. GG, Tenet. All right. So, Tenet, what'd you think about that race? I have a couple microphone issues actually real quick. All right, let's try now. No. There we go.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yep,
Yes.
there we go.
Okay, sorry.
GG's. That's all right.
GGs.
All right, what a race, huh?
Yeah. I guess it was an interesting seed overall. It started off fast, and yeah.
Then the brick wall of the ice rod and ether.
Right.
Yeah, that was definitely the the two items that it held both you and Locke up for a bit. But the nice thing was you had plenty of time and plenty of dungeons to clear out in the meantime.
Mhm.
So actually, as a question, because I believe you had skipped on Left Side Swamp and Swamp's big chest, kind of. Were you thinking like, okay, there's only one or two items here, so we'll go ahead and skip for now?
Yeah, basically. I think I had both medallions at the time, so I figured I'd be able to get into Turtle Rock, and hopefully Ice Rod was just on Death Mountain or in Turtle Rock, I guess. And I felt behind from the Feast Town play too, so I didn't think I could stay for checking that anyway.
Yeah, and the Thieves Town. While you did do Thieves Town and you did get the cape there, Locke had done the Front of Escape and the and Catfish. Like that had been the main differentiator, but you two were actually very close. It came down to Locke opting for Ice, and I think that's when you were opting for Meyer. That was the main difference.
That's
Like
fair.
yeah, but it was an incredible race. It was it was a fantastic race to watch.
Yeah, well, I'm glad.
Yep. So, um, let's see. So yeah, I guess coming up, you still got the Kabuki. Congratulations on your Kabuki Tational.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
Race.
Oh,
And
yeah, that's still going.
right. And we'll have to do this next year. You know,
Yeah, for sure.
we got season 6.
Yeah, League's always fun. Looking forward to the next season, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see, Jesse or chat. If anyone has any other questions for Tenet.
I think I'm good on my end.
All right, Tenet. Any final thoughts on the seed?
No, I guess I'm good. GG's again to Locke.
Yep. And GG. Yep. GG's to Locke. GG's to Tenet. And that will finalize the playoffs over in the Open League. Definitely, we've got an exciting couple matchups. We've got, I believe we have a league race ongoing on SpeedGaming 3.
Yep, SpeedGaming 3 right now. We've got game 1 between Taunt the Frog and Pug Hunters. Trip on for Taunt the Frog with Josh Bittner going for the Pug Hunters. It is the Courage Pendant matchup, so casual boots race over there. They're about an hour and 15 minutes into that race over on SpeedGaming 3.
So that one will be an exciting one. And I believe this week is all Open League playoffs. Does the Invitational League, I guess that's next week starting?
Yes. Next week will be the start of the Invitational playoffs.
All right. So be sure to follow the SpeedGaming channels, ALTTPR Randomizer. Join the Discord so that you can know when those matches happen. We've got we've got fantastic players across a good number of skill levels. It's going to be fantastic. League is such a fun event, and I'm glad that we're all kind of doing it this year. But yeah, thank you again to the crew at SpeedGaming. Thank you again to Furious Prince for tracking. And thank you, Jesse, for co-commenting, for doing your second commentary gig today.
It was a pleasure working with you today, Finch.
Absolutely. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Jesse, you got any final words?
I think you've covered it. Have a great night, everybody.